Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates. I was right in the middle of showing you how I was creating this polymer clay bead, um, and I lost my video. I don't know what happened, but I can start over. First of all, I want to say hello and thank you for joining me here. I want to show you what I've been up to and maybe chat with you a little bit. I have been really enjoying making polymer clay beads, and many of you know I'm a clay artist and I'm an art teacher and I teach pottery, but I haven't really played with the polymer clay, just maybe here and there a little bit. And during the kind of hybrid teaching towards the end of the semester, I had the students working with air dry clay and clays that we didn't have to fire in the kiln, and as a result I got really interested in polymer clay and especially beads. And so I've been watching a clay artist that I just love watching. Her name is Susan over at Turtle Soup Beads, and I'll leave a link to her channel in the description box, but she just really is great at explaining how to create beads. I'm not anywhere near a teacher when it comes to doing polymer clay, but I do think having my experience with clay for as many years as I have does help as far as things like understanding how to roll things and manipulate it a little bit, even though it is slightly different clay. But anyway, I had started out with a big lug of clay from watching one of her channels, and I'm doing what I think she calls the paintbrush or pencil stroke flowers. Anyway, you start with a lug of clay. It looks like a big crayon, doesn't it? And you drape it with different colors of clay, and this is just an attempt at using up some of my scraps. This is my old beat up pan that's designated for just polymer clay, because you don't want to bake this clay on a pan that you're going to actually eat out of or put food in. That's why I have this one, but I normally put parchment paper down. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try to catch this one up to the point I have this one. So I have a big lug of reddish deep pink color, I'd call that, and I want to put a little bit of yellow on top, I think, my little straight edge. So I've been watching Susan a lot, and she does a lot of really helpful tutorials for beginners, and I'd call myself a beginner when it comes to making beads anyway. But I will do another video in a little bit and show you the beads I've already made. I found it to be a really fun way to just get back into crafting after working and school being over. So I'm going to drape this one with some of that pretty sunny yellow. I hope everyone is doing okay. Hot summer months are upon us. It's very humid here already. That's not good, being that it's the beginning of June. Usually the really humid days come in late July and then kind of last through September. But we just kind of have to hold on to our hats and get ready for it. You know, I don't know if I want yellow in the middle, but it might be a little too late now. So let's put a little bit of pink just for the fun of it. Yeah, I don't do the color scheme very well. I don't know what does what yet. It's really about trial and error, and I think that's one reason I like watching Susan, because she's not real like you have to do it this way and you have to do it that way, and that's really more the kind of artist I am. I'm more of a, you know, there are a few absolutes, but for the most part you just kind of go at it and see what happens. That's why you don't catch me doing a lot of measuring, and I kind of will get just the gist of the measurements and go from there. So anyway, that's what I did. On this one I used a 4th color, but I think I might just stop with 3 colors on that one. So once you do that, you do what's called compressing it down to a smaller size. So this was this size, and now I'm going to cut this pretty much in half, and then in half again. And you basically just layer it on top of each other like this, and like this, and like this. I might be able to stretch that one a little bit longer. And you start compressing it again. So I'm going to elongate this one, and I'll come back and show you what's next. So I don't know if you can tell by the lines on the top, I compressed all 4 little chopped pieces back together, and then you literally do it again where you cut it in half, and again I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and then you cut it in half again. So hopefully the end result will be that I have 2 polymer canes that I can slice into flowers. So I guess I could have done a little better getting those even, but again, this isn't me trying to show you how to do it, it's just me saying let's clay along together. During the semester when I was teaching the high school students, I had I don't know, like a third of my students, maybe a little bit more, were virtual. So we taught in a hybrid situation, so I had to do a team meeting and teach on camera, and so we had this big smartboard screen behind us so the kids who were present could watch what I was doing either from their desk or look up at the screen, and then the kids at school at home could see what I was doing on the screen. And then on Wednesdays or Fridays we would have what we called a clay along, and instead of play along we'd clay along, and I would give them a heads up on what they'd need to have in front of their camera as we created. So it's kind of what we're doing right now. I'm just kind of talking and creating, and it was interesting how they seemed to really enjoy me creating the form along with them, and they could turn on their cameras, which most of them hated doing. I don't know why, but and they'd say, is this right, or does this look okay? Or towards the end I'd say, everyone, you don't have to show me your face, just show me your creation, let's see how it's going. And so that's kind of how we did clay virtually. It was quite challenging at times, but it ended up being pretty successful. But those of you who've been watching and following me know that I am super thrilled to say the year of hybrid teaching has successfully come to an end, and we can exhale now, which I plan on doing with my sister this week. We're gonna take a little girls getaway trip, which I'm really looking forward to. So I'm going to stack all 4 of these again and compress them one more time, and then I will see how our flower turns out. So you just kind of line them up and stick them together. My goal is to keep the pink right on top, and then compress them all together. So I'll do that one more time and I'll be right back. So now what I have is I've got it so that I've compressed it and sliced it, I think 3 times. And honestly, I don't know if you can over compress these. So we'll see. I'm just gonna slice the ends off. I'm not gonna look yet. I want the element of surprise to hope that they're gonna look nice enough. So I'll just move those over. Susan always stresses not to get rid of your scraps because there's all kinds of beautiful beads you can make with the scraps. So I'm going to listen to her instruction. So this is going to be the inside stamen of the flower, and I'm going to use the same stamen for both colors of flowers. And I just put a brown core in the middle, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. Cut it in half and then cut it in half again. Oh, that was definitely uneven. Well, it's not too bad. I can stretch it a teeny bit. And then I'm going to squeeze them together and make one log. Rolling coils is one of my favorite things to do with regular clay, so this part is easy for me. I love doing this. Okay, so I don't want to get it too skinny, I don't think. It's just amazing how this works. I always saw the inlaid clay and wondered how they did it, and I've tried simple little daisy ones and things like that, but okay, I get it. And then I'm going to do one more. I'm going to cut it in half, get it a little more exact, maybe this way, and try to cut it in half again. Okay, so it looks like this. Definitely looks like little seeds in there. Give it a little squeeze and another roll. And I'm just gonna make it long enough so that I hope it'll fit both of my flowers. Now I think most people probably make larger amounts of what they call cane to go in the middle, but this was just me using up some scraps, and it's not, you know, a planned color coordinated thing. Ooh, that's kind of cool looking. Can you see that? That'd be pretty for the middle of a sunflower, maybe. Anyway, save your scraps. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And just because I'm curious, I'm going to measure. It's about 10 inches. So 5 is about there. So we cut it in half. Cut it in half again. And I think that's all I'm supposed to do. I don't know how. I kind of wanted more than 4. I wanted 5. I'm afraid if I keep slicing, I'm gonna lose the pencil stroke. It almost looks like a flame. It's kind of cool. Alright, so let's see if I can make this work. I'm probably going to turn the camera off for a second, but what I want to do is wrap these around this. And I'm really wishing I had a 5th one. I should have watched her a little better to see. You know what? I think rather than not have enough, I'm going to cut these in half again. I think that will save me. So I'll cut these in half again, squeeze them together, and I'll come right back. Okay guys, so I'm excited because that was a good idea. I was worried that I was cutting it too many times, but if you can see, I haven't even compressed it yet. But cutting it another time in half gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 petals. The really pretty stamen in the middle. So I'm doing the same thing with this blue, pinky, mauve one. And I don't see the pencil strokes as well on this one, but that's okay. I'm gonna give this one a try too. I have a generous amount of this stamen too. That's gonna be nice because I can always save it. I'm realizing that you can make the cane ahead of time and just use it when you need it. So I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm just gonna keep placing my petals around the stamen like this. I tell you, when I first saw the different artists doing this, I thought I'll never do that. It just looks too time-consuming and complicated. But I promise you, it really wasn't as hard as I thought. And it gives you such gorgeous handmade beads. So if you can see, oh, might be a little too high there in the camera. Now I've got them all around. I'm going to give them a good press. Try to get everything nice and tight. And a good squeeze. Like this one's a little uneven, but I think I'll just have to trim that off later. So let me go again and I will compress these and we'll slice them, and then I'll show you my little leaf cane that I also made to go along with these. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm still here. I'm working on the pencil brush stroke flowers, and I went ahead and compressed and elongated them a little bit more. And then this is a leaf cane, and this one is another one that I learned from watching Susan, and she's got a video on how to do leaf cane. A lot of polymer clay artists will show you how to do it. Again, I thought, oh my gosh, I'll never attempt that, but it's ending up working out. I had some scrap clay that was mostly gold, and so I've just finished by wrapping it around my green, and I'll slice it for you and show you. You can compress these super tiny. I'm learning. I get nervous thinking, oh, if I compress it too much, the image isn't going to show up, but I'm just learning, kind of pressing the boundaries to see if and when that happens. So far it hasn't, but isn't that awesome? When you slice it, you can see the leaves, and there it is, a little better view with the gold wrapping around it. And I could technically you know, compress this even smaller. So what I'll do is cut it in half and then squeeze and compress to make one half of it a smaller leaf and leave this one a slightly larger one. But I just wanted to show you my leaf cane. So that one I cut a little bit uneven, so the outer gold edge got a little cut off. But it's fun because she shows you how you can wrap these around the core of clay and make these, I forgot what she calls them. Anyway, they're really cool too. So just so many bead ideas she has. So anyway, those are my leaf cane. And you guys mostly know that I've been, I started out doing clay a few years ago, making my fairy houses, and then just got head over heels with fabric and lace journals and junk journals and paper journals, and I'm still really loving that. So let me know if you like seeing, ooh, there's a big air bubble in there, I have to get rid of that, me work and play with clay. I probably will only do this for a little bit longer because I have lots of lace journals and paper journals to get caught up on this summer, and I'm really looking forward to that too. So I'll probably bring you a little bit of both. But there's the center of my pencil brush daisy flower, and I see if I can find my wooden stick. I think I want to go back and redefine the petals because I really want it to look like a daisy flower. And so I'm maybe answering my question as to, can you possibly over compress? I don't know if I over compressed, but if I were to slice these, I would want the petal to show a little bit better. I do like the irregularity of the petals though. I don't want it to look like it came out of a machine, because that defeats the purpose of doing them by hand. So I'll play around with that cane a little bit later, see what I can get. And then there's this one. There's still a little bit of a air pocket in there, and I'm again gonna save those scraps. Ooh, that one's pretty. I love that. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so thanks for playing with me. I'm gonna probably let these rest a little bit. She suggests that you let them rest and firm up so that when you slice them you get a nice clean slice. I might keep that one, but I'm going to use those as scrap. I've got my leaf cane here. I'm just going to slice one more for the fun of it. It's like slice and bake cookies, but don't eat them, please don't eat them. Okay, so there's the slice of that one. The colors aren't as contrasty as they probably could be. Let me see. Can you see that? See if I can move that light. It's just so bright. The wrong kind of bright. It's not focusing. Yeah, it's only focused down here. Anyway, I'm enjoying the red one. I never work with this much color, even with my my own pottery. I use a lot of neutrals, and clay, high fire clay, doesn't really give you lots of bright colors anyway. So this has been a really fun diversion for me to just play with bright colors. I was gonna come back and do a video tonight, but I've got something I've got to go do, so I'll do another video tomorrow, and I'll show you a lot of the beads I've already created and turned them into brooches and pendants and earrings. Yes, I have been busy. So I hope you all are doing well. Come back and visit me again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.